a story written by Victor Marchetti. He's a former executive assistant to the deputy director of the CIA, and he's the author of the CIA and the Cult of Intelligence. Fairly well-known and reputable individual. He wrote an article saying that the CIA was going to frame convicted Watergate burglar E. Howard Hunt for the assassination of John F. Kennedy. In fact, the way the article was written was more or less a defense of Hunt, suggesting that perhaps he was not guilty of involvement in the crime, but that he was going to be framed for it by the CIA. Well, much to the surprise of the spotlight, Mr. Hunt brought a lawsuit. And through a tangled web of litigation, it ultimately ended up that through a series of 2 trials, and as I say, what can best be described in shorthand as a tangled web of litigation, we were cleared of the libel charges that Mr. Hunt brought. But I think what is most significant about the trial is the fact that we had a deposition from Marita Lorenz, a former CIA operative who was the ex-mistress of Fidel Castro, and who Miss Lorenz subsequently turned against Castro. She reported that the day before, I believe it was, the day before President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, she was in a motel room with E. Howard Hunt and Lee Harvey Oswald and ultimately Jack Ruby. And of course, Jack Ruby subsequently killed Lee Oswald, for people who are not aware of that, suggesting that there may have been some connections with Mr. Hunt to principals involved in the Kennedy assassination. This was brought out during the trial, and oddly enough, there was very little publicity given to this. What makes it so remarkable is the fact that the attorney who defended us, Mark Lane, who I mentioned previously, is the author of Rush to Judgment, which was a national bestseller critical of the Warren Commission. Mr. Lane brought these things out, and yet it was not reported. I think it's significant that a celebrity, which Mr. Hunt certainly is, a celebrity known for his involvement in Watergate and the CIA connection and so forth, was connected to the Kennedy assassination, yet it was not reported. So I think, as I say, we won that libel case. Mr.